that he was, considering the fact that he was already close, and the fact that normally in multiple races he gets a fire lit under his butt after the first, so... And they're off.
And interesting decision by Leslie to skip the Air Force right now as we enter, well, Iceland, 6-8.
At least the pipe was decent movement forward, though. So this may end up coming out to be good for him.
That depends on what happens once Boom Boom is defeated. Every time you defeat a Boom Boom, either a lock is broken or a bridge is built. The question is, where does that happen on the map? Oh, right there! That's actually bad for Jabem. He's a stage behind.
Leslie taking this chance to go into the Toad House, select a quick item, and Jabem's in currently a hand stage, so he will receive an item as well.
Yes, the hand stage is relatively quick and all will have the same items available. And in this case, oh, that's a Lakitu Cloud. There's a nice one. And a P-Wing from the Hammer Bro as well.
Huh, that's interesting that Jabem is actually ignoring the Hammer Brothers this early on.
So, one thing we have to remember is a lot of runners like to use a power-up or at least be big to encounter them. And so,
True.
Perhaps thinking it's not worth it to deal with at this stage?
That's true. And from what we saw, Leslie got a star, and don't know if Leslie ran into the other Hammer Brother yet. So, overall, maybe not necessarily all that important at the moment.
I do believe a P-Wing was encountered from one of the bros, while right now Jabem is dealing with an unexpected giant Goomba in the outer pyramids of 2-3. So in this case, a divergent route allowed Leslie to catch up, and he's taking the extra leaf for safety. I do not object to this play right here. The problem with the play, though, is if you're not big, it's extremely hard to get another power-up.
Ooh, Leslie just barely managed to avoid getting nailed by that shell.
As we now have 2-5, Chain Chomp Circle. What? Jabem? How'd you do that? Did you see that clip I did?
I did, and honestly, at this point, I've started learning to not question these people. They tend to do some incredible stuff, so.
And Jabem, in the meantime, entered 7F1 AK Fort Knox, but I don't know if it was required, and I think he realized that. So the big question is, let's see, there was a bridge, and, oh, okay, we're gonna see the other one, which is 3F1. Uh-oh, one of them is required. Which one? In the meantime, no! Jabem missed the door one clip. Has to swim all the way back and try again. And
If I had to
Go ahead.
If I had to guess, Jabem probably figures with this other one that there might be something blocking, and he'd rather just go through an easier port just in case.
Whereas Leslie knows about the quick way here, and using the P-Wing, effectively our runners are near equivalent on items, as we are now entering the World 5 airship, or is that... No, that's 4, that's 4, excuse me.
Unfortunately for Leslie, he is not going to be happy to see this. Unfortunately, the fort he finished was not the one he needed.
Yes, did kind of forget about that. So let's at least mark 7F1 as optional on the list. And, ooh, Lemmy, 4 hits this time. Each Koopa Kid can take 1 to 5, and in this case, someone had their veggies this evening. Leslie making his way through, but Jabem already through. What will the item be if we can see it? Little fast. Oh!
Fire flower.
I mean, good to know about the fire flower, but I was more curious about that overworld configuration. Did Jabem just clip through a fire chomp?
I'm not 100% sure, actually. Once again, I don't like the question the hitboxes. It tends to give me no answers.
Okay, it may have just been a visual glitch on my end. But note this overworld configuration. It may be possible we do not need to take out a fortress at all.
A lot of fire snakes and fire chomps in this level, though. Definitely gonna have to be a little careful.
So, interesting fact here, we first had 3-6 in this place, now we're at 6-3. Okay, maybe it's just me that finds it interesting. I like some of my numbers.
Sorry, I was taking a drink. Yeah, that's pretty cool that it's a little mirrored. Oh,
Speaking of mirrors... And at least this time the enemy set seems nice so far. Sticking with the giant enemy theme is generally one of the better things to have here.
I was about to make a remark, but I didn't want to curse it. Jabem immediately going for the 5 extra lives for safety. After everything that went on in the first seed, I do not blame him.
Oh boy, 7-9, the Blue Pipe Special. This is a bit of a long one, especially if you are not big and thus unable to attempt the clips.
There's a little Goomba shoe running around. Well, was running around.
This is a level where we don't want the Goomba shoe, though. We need to be able to...
That's true.
Unless we can just clip through everything, we need to actually use these ice blocks. And, we can't get out of the shoe unless we take damage. And if there are no enemies left, then, hope you like waiting.
At least this level was not as bad as it could be.
I mean, Boss Bass could have shown up there. And, ooh, Jabem decides to deal with one of the fortresses just in case that block blocking the pipe has something. And so, welcome to 6F2, the Ice Fort.
Jabem taking a couple bumps and bruises on the way to Boom Boom, but seems to be under control still.
Yep, Boom Boom goes down, Orb is summoned. Now which lock is destroyed? The one by the Toad House. And oh no, Jabem is caught between, probably doesn't want to deal with the hammers, but, oh no! Thanks to Leslie's knowledge, we have to go to the other fortress. And unfortunately, that hammer will not help.
And Alright, looks like Jabem's entering the shoe factory once again. Will there be a flyby Goomba? Yes, there will be. However, Jabem managed to dodge it this time. Less than Piccolo.
Alright, top half of the shoe factory, not a problem. Bottom half, I don't know if I should count that as a sun encounter. It only appeared halfway through and then it just vanished.
I don't think so, because it's not like once you get any further it starts moving around or anything.
I guess that is our consolation.
Alright, Jabem managing to get through, and Leslie taking care of Boom Boom.
Interestingly enough, Jabem has 2 mushrooms. Ooh, 610 with, oh no, fire nippers, that's bad.
That is, oh no, another one. Okay,
wait,
so
I didn't see it spit fire though.
Yeah, okay, so thankfully that one wasn't as bad. Well, there's another fire one. Anytime I see the nippers, I automatically assume they're gonna be shooting fire.
Yeah, we like to mention boss bash sightings, but the fire nipper plants, they can be the unexpected stars of the show at times. As we now enter the super tanks.
Bowser's serious, he's sending in the Marine.
Marines, reserves, Coast Guard. Plenty of alternate names here. But they're all led by Boom Boom.
Oh, runaway chain chomp. And Leslie just got roasted.
Oh, good thing we have a backup star available. Well, here's a bit of spicy vanilla. That is the World 3 airship in World 3.
I guess now the big question is going to be, how is Wendy modified? How many Baconators did she eat today?
None. Or maybe too many, but I don't know. I actually don't eat bacon. I've tried this stuff before, but it honestly doesn't sit well with my stomach. So honestly, if I were to have one Baconator, I'd probably be as weak as Wendy was.
It looks like Leslie's taking a quick stopover for another item.
And, well, that's an interesting World 5 setup. I mean, yeah, starting with 6-1, but the part I'm interested in, we may not need to actually go through the tower this time.
Interesting. No, in fact, he does not. We do not have to at all. There is no other pipe on the other end of the island, and as far as I'm aware, no way to get to, yeah, there's no other pipe, so the one that Jabem's about to enter definitely has to go up to the sky.
Alright, Wendy goes down for Leslie, as that was we had a baby bass there.
So let's see where this will lead.
Aw, no paradox pipe.
I assume that's the pipe that goes directly to the castle?
No, a paradox pipe is the pipe that does the sky transition to the ground.
Ah.
And in this case, I think that was another 4-2 with Baby Bass.
I believe so.
So, penultimate level of this world. Oh boy, 7-8, Piranha Alley. This is never a fun one.
Yeah. Good work with Jabem though, ducking under the piranhas at the top. Okay, the fire snakes are, or fire chomps are definitely not helping.
But at least we get a leaf to get us through here. While Leslie has to go over the bridge over troubled notes or something like that. Gets through. But Boss Baby or Baby Bass is just trying to catch up.
And it sounds like Jabem's gonna be dealing with a lot of running around for Hammer Brothers.
Oh, that's just what happens if two Hammer Bros keep on landing on the same tile.
I've had one time before in vanilla where I ended up timing it and it took like 25 seconds or something for them to get off of each other.
I still remember one time when my old NES cartridge, somehow I was stuck in 4-2. Mind you, I was very young back then. And Hammer Bros came onto the stage. I'm pretty sure that it was some sort of glitch. But basically, as long as Hammer Bros kept on entering the stage, I couldn't leave 4-2 until I beat it for every single Hammer Bro.
Oh, wow.
And I've never been able to replicate it since.
The king does not appreciate the swamp cooking.
Alright, Grassland is next. Though we start with a water level because, of course, it's rando.
So does that mean this area is actually swampland?
I don't know. I'm not hearing the xylophones of Bubble Gloop Swamp here.
Fair. And we aren't hearing a banjo, so we're definitely not in the deep south. Leslie's having... Ooh! Leslie has an unfortunate death in 7-8.
And so decides to use the Lakitu Cloud to skip it. I don't blame him one bit, as Jabem enters one fort and takes the death. Where's that lock again? Ooh.
I can see why he's gonna go for the item instead.
Yeah, we want to, Actually, wait, if we get the item, then the lock isn't broken.
Right. However, they can still go down below it.
True, and oh, wise decision. Jabem gets a hammer suit.
That's gonna be nice.
So the new required stage is 3-3. With no Baby Bass or Boss Bass this time around. Now, will Leslie also go for that item?
I think if he can keep his tail, I'm willing to bet he'll probably try it.
Okay, that was a nice twin boomerang bro kills and the swag boomerang threading the needle there. Unfortunately, just for a music box.
Yeah, not the most useful thing. However, running into another hand stage, so that means he will be rewarded with a cloud again, correct?
I believe it was a cloud, yes, but we just have to get through Cheap Chase first, and there we go.
Leslie now has... Unfortunately, he doesn't have a tail, but... Let's see if... oh, he's not even going to try for the other power-up block. Ooh.
Well, may get another chance at that. Unfortunately, the descending ceiling was not helping there. And, ooh, Blooper Baby's getting Jabem in 5-3 beta, while Leslie is now hopping to it.
Yeah, I kind of expected that one. Of all the forts for the frog suit, that is definitely not a good one. Actually, it almost makes me wonder if Leslie accidentally chose it.
I did not notice how the inventory was set up, and... No, okay, Leslie is confirmed not going for that hammer suit.
Fortunately, he's gonna miss out on a fairly important item then. But... then again, they still have a fair bit to go. They might still pick one up.
Ooh, tail is lost, but fortunately Boom Boom stays grounded enough. So Leslie gets to skip 3-3 as we now enter World 5, which is the Pipe Maze.
Sorry about that. Ooh. I'm kind of surprised Jabem didn't go for those two other pipes.
Perhaps Jabem just wants to eliminate the root area first. Nothing wrong with that strategy, though... maybe Jabem wants the item.
Maybe. See.
As we deal with the timer plants, and okay, there go the timer plants. Fun fact, those munchers actually operate on a global timer. They keep on moving even if you pause.
It's like Leslie managed to dodge the super babies pretty well. Oh.
But not Big Bertha. And, oh, okay, Jabem has a path to the final area. I think that Nipper battle was required, but the question is, which fortress is required?
Huh. So, I think Jabem used a music box. I wonder if he did that just to get it out of his inventory, or if he mismenued this time.
In this case, it's hard to say. I mean, that was a lot of music boxes. But at the very least, 1.5 beta is done and over with.
Meanwhile, Leslie is going through the, that's the World 5 airship, right?
Yes.
So he should be catching up pretty soon, and Jabem takes a death on the Space Waffle.
That is the ground fort of World 5. And honestly, I think the reason it's called ground fort is because it's literally, the ground fortress, and there's not that much unique about it, unless you want to count the Disco Waffle hallway.
Okay, so Mew Mew says that he thinks that Jabem actually went through 2 music boxes. Which, if that's the case, then I assume that is just to get him out of his story.
Well, Mew Mew fan is very knowledgeable about this game, so... And no, that's the wrong fort! Unless this broken lock takes us to that island. No, it was guarding a toad house. How about the direct connection? Nope, we don't need that one either.
And there's the troll pipe.
Always has to be one. So, hope you folks at home have taken notes. Oh, we have to go to the big island first to go to that other pipe, don't we?
Well, I just had another thought. There is a pipe. Did they end up running? Did Jabem already run into the pipe right before the lock on the end island?
On the end one? No, not yet. That's where Jabem has to go, I think.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be the one that leads to the port. Ooh, and Leslie dies on the end of the beta stage.
So that means ground fort is not required. Which also means 1.5 beta is not required.
Yeah,
Alright.
I kinda have to agree with Korak. I think he was a little bit lost.
Well, now we are unlost. 1.6 is going to guide us on our way to victory.
Now, I'm pretty sure Leslie did end up finding his way to the big island, the last one. So it is possible that after this fort, he may end up going back to it and manage to catch a little bit of time up. Ooh, and Jabem wisely using a cloud to go into the pipe.
Yep, we are able to permanently skip that stage as Desert Fort is holding the necessary boom boom key, effectively. Alright, can Jabem get through the spikes of woe this time? Nicely done.
Ooh, Leslie taking a pit stop for another item, and he gets the hammer suit. Goodness, four music box, one hammer, and a hammer suit. Leslie is kinda looking small on items.
Jabem just doesn't want to deal with another piranha infestation. Let's get through Lemmy's airship.
Leslie finds control.
And, ooh, Ludwig is a quaking Koopa. Uh-oh, Jabem's caught.
Ooh. And he gets smacked right in the face with that scepter. Herbaceous, I believe Leslie has a cloud. No, wait, no he doesn't. Might have already used his somewhere else.
Yeah, I think if anyone has a cloud still, it's Jabem. Now, Jabem has one more shot to go for this, otherwise... well, that infestation stage comes back up. And, ooh, 4-hit Quaking Koopa Kid. But Jabem is successful.
And Leslie walks right off the platform.
Now, fun fact, King, we have not encountered Giant Land yet. Perhaps that's the next one?
Sure enough.
And once again, we have 2 pipes at the start. Oh gosh, we have 1 bridge, 1 lock. Question is, which one do we need? Jabem clouded over 1-1. I just want that known.
Wow. So probably not best, but then again, it does save the time of at least checking to figure it out.
Oh boy, quicksand stage, aka tornado stage, with a boss mass.
Boy.
However, as long as Jabem is able to keep his speed up, that's a problem.
Olay!
That's cutting it a little close.
Ooh, Leslie, unfortunately, cannot jump into the pipe and takes a hit on that hop.
While Jabem is currently going through Candle Fort. Also, Thwomp Fort. You know, either name works.
Ooh!
Yeah, unfortunately, this is before the spin jump was invented. Oh! But the spin jump wouldn't help on the spikes.
And Leslie decides to use his hammer suit for this.
I question this decision, but at the same time, I get the situation. Get the guaranteed or near guaranteed lock destruction, but if Leslie messes this up, that's a game over.
Oh, that's true. And there goes the hammer suit, fortunately. Though he does at least get a life out of that.
However, that pipe... However, that is an entirely optional fortress. As... Oh! 3-9 beta with Boss Bass, but, Boss Bass is staying upstairs today.
Fortunately, Jabem is not doing well dealing with the, Paragoombas and whatnot.
One more Micro Goomba for good measure, and Jabem is free. Now, what is this required fort? I just realized, that's 4F2. The fortresses had their vanilla behavior.
Their vanilla behavior just not in their spot.
It's close enough. We have vanilla ice cream in the stands today.
I was gonna say French vanilla, if nothing else.
Alright, Jabem has his way to the airship, while Leslie currently finishing his up, but on the previous world.
Ooh. And sledgehammer to the face.
And that hammer bro did not move between the pipes at all. Aren't they supposed to?
Normally, yeah. In fact, I think the only time they don't is if you already took care of one and they land on top of you after that. That's... Huh. Unless they're not able to pass through the pipes.
We are seeing a lot of interesting mechanics today, folks.
Jabem cloud from the plane ship. That's...
Well, that actually may come in handy. After all, we do know that the desert land is the next location. I believe both of our runners do have a hammer, or at the very least I know Jabem does. So use the hammer, break a rock, and use that Lakitu Cloud wisely. There you go.
I believe Leslie has a hammer as well.
Alright, let's see how strong this Koopa Kid is today. It's Iggy! It's a quaking Iggy!
And two hits.
It's a weak one. So, the winner of this best 2 out of 3 match will go up against Classic Gamer 88. And Leslie going for the correct one this time. Just has to get through the rest here. And wow, immediate P-Wing usage for Jabem. 3-2 isn't a bad one to use it on, admittedly.
Alright, so Jabem manages to clear through, and Leslie is making decent progress, so... High 5,
So, Jabem is in the first fortress of World 6, Leslie is in 5-8.
Oh, 5-8. Right.
Yeah, 5-5 is the Donut Bridge level.
That's right. I wonder why my brain used that. Oh well. And there's a star again, so they're gonna get the quick kill.
Yep, enjoy that upside down orb, everyone. And there it goes.
So, wait, if it's an upside down orb, shouldn't we start saying bro?
Doesn't have the same ring to it.
True.
Oh, that is an excellent pipe! As, Jabem is now on the Muncher run, 7-7. And thank you, chat, for, trying there. Oh no, the star's going the other way!
Ooh, he's gonna have to book it. There we go.
Plenty of time.
Alright, Leslie's managing to clear the platforms pretty easily. Thankfully, the Rocky Wrenches didn't pop up in order to kill off his momentum.
Alright, Larry Koopa is the last of the Koopa... Oh, excuse me, Morton Koopa. Right. That was the World 1 airship. But the Koopa kids are based off of the world we're in, so in this case, we have a resilient 5-hitter this time. But the terrain, it was kind of easy to deal with.
Well, at least we finally get to see a big one.
Alright, Jabem is very close to getting a 2-0 victory here.
Be kind, you mind.
I don't know where that comes from.
It actually comes from back in the days of like Blockbuster and whatnot, because they would actually charge you a fee if you returned the VHS tapes without rewinding first.
That? No wonder why they went out of business.
Well, to be fair, back then, I think that was kind of a thing in most video rental places. Because just because of the fact that it takes time to rewind them entirely, and if you have, hundreds of tapes, that can really eat up a lot of time. And a few tapes, probably.
Fair enough.
Alright, so it looks like Jabem's in 4-5, I believe?
Yep, the Homing Bill Brigade. The only stage that has it. See those flashing bullet bills? They turn around once you get past them. But we don't get to really see them in action.
Leslie's about to get some good news. I'm a little bit surprised that Leslie didn't decide to actually use the cloud, however.
Alright, Jabem taking, excuse me, an intentional death. As we have Water Fort.
Ooh. And unfortunately, the Cheep gets him on the knockdown.
However, that may not be required either. We don't... okay.
Well, something's required, it looks like.
Yeah, we have at least 2 locks seen. Now, the tricky part is if you're not careful with hitting these blocks underwater, the knockback will force you down. And if the Cheep is just in a bad position, there you go.
Alright, Java managing to clear through the underwater carpet.
And same with the interior decorator. That did not break the lock over there.
And it's a hand stage on that side, so that was completely unnecessary.
Yep, 5-4, bye-bye. So we may have a situation... Oh, there was a pipe we missed over here?
That might have been blocked by the water fort.
But here's the problem. Oh, there's one more bridge and one more fort. Will Lava Fort be it?
If not, then Jabem's gonna have to go exploring.
And for those keeping track at home, the Navy stage was required. We needed to beat the level in order to get to the fork in the road.
Alright, takes a slight hit with the boo, but manages to make the boom.
And there we go, 5F2 was the required level. Time for Bowser Koopa's Castle.
Jabem gets the everyman clip.
Just needs to be careful on this last portion.
Especially because I noticed he doesn't have any other power-ups that can help him, so if he messes this up, he's in trouble. But, once again, sends Bowser to the dentist, and that's the end for that.
This is why you need to take care of your dental hygiene, folks. Jabem manages to win this best-of-3 matchup. Official SRL time, 44 minutes, 36 seconds.
Leslie Pro gets grabbed into the stage.
And decides to want no part of it. Let's see if we can get Jabem in for an interview in the meantime.
Alright, Leslie finally manages to find the end room and is entering the fort to get the bridge.
Hey guys.
GG Jabem.
Yeah, GG. I thought I was toast in that one. I spent so long, like, just looking through pipes in World 7 and 8. That was a scary race.
Leslie wasn't too far behind. He's actually currently finishing up Boom Boom right now to get to Bowser's Castle.
Yeah, did he get the hammer suit?
Different hammer suit.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
He had a different hammer suit, and he actually had to use it in a previous world, so he's currently T-winging it, the castle, right now.
I felt silly doing the castle, to get the item, because I realized as soon as I finished that, I had to do an extra level because of that. But then I did the math, and I was like, I think you saved more time with a hammer suit in Bowser's Castle than a regular stage takes anyways.
Right.
So I felt less bad after that.
Depending on the stage, I can understand your logic. So in this case, going through 3-3 wasn't necessarily a bad thing, especially since it only took you one try.
Yeah. I think for the most part, you would have been fine as long as that extra stage wasn't 5-9 or or Atlantis, basically.
I was worried about, surprise auto scroller, but even the Sky one, Atlantis is longer, but the Sky one's only like 45 seconds. So I was pretty happy with that. Another slow start, though. First two worlds felt really, really long. But that might just be because we don't have the item accumulation that we have in the other seeds.
Right.
You can't just power up every time you're small, which is basically what I've been able to do in every other randomizer. A lot of levels where you just go in small.
Alright. Down goes Bowser. Everyone get your GGs out in the chat for Leslie Pro. Finishing second with an official SRL time of 48 minutes and 1 second.
Alright, we're also going to see if Leslie wishes to join us. Yeah, those were close matches throughout, so I don't think we can argue it.
Well, at least this also wasn't as bad in terms of boss bass. So yeah, okay. I did put my
I've been trained against boss bass in the worst circumstances possible. It's boss bass is the least of my worries. The strongest enemy in this game is definitely the Paragoomba. It's the worst.
Yeah.
Like, by a whole lot. It goes up at like a perfect 45-degree angle, just up and left. There's no height that's proper for. If you jump, you get hit. If you don't jump, you get hit. It's incredible.
Honestly, I feel like the Paragoomba has definitely been horribly underpaid in Bowser's Army.
I don't know, he was able to go out and buy wings. Those are probably pretty expensive. I don't know if you've ever had a serious Red Bull addiction, but it's expensive.
And we have Leslie Pro in the chat. GG.
GG. I had a lot of deaths and a lot of mishaps happen because, for whatever reason, my controller picked a very bad time to start dropping jump inputs. Good thing my mic was muted because you would have heard some some PG language because that was just a bad time that happened. By the way, GG Jabem.
GG.
Next week you've got a pretty tall task.
Oh yeah, I got to face Classic Gamer. He's the one who knocked me out last year.
Yeah, I was thinking if I get past this one, because I knew this one was going to be close. It was going to be pretty much back and forth. Out of curiosity, what did decide the first?
The first game?
So, the first one, it was extremely close. Leslie, you were ahead for part of the first two worlds, but then Jabem was able to get ahead after Piranha Fort. But the other factor was your decision to take some additional time to get items.
Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes you have to do that, because what happens with me is that if I hit a wall at a level and I start taking deaths, then that's where that decision comes into play, because for me, one death can lead to two, and then things snowball, and that's really a defense against that. So yeah, I'll admit, I'll eat the ball in that one. Although it did help to send Bowser to the dentist in the first one.
I should have definitely gotten like the Mushroom House or something in Game 1 in that first World 3. Because yeah, I game overed like really early on. That's probably what got you that early lead.
Yeah, that'd be my guess. And unfortunately for me, that game too, like I said, I just kept having the instances of yummy inputs striking at just the most inopportune moments, and that World 7 was...
That 7 was awful. I didn't even think that pipe, about the pipe that was near the final, like, airship, being possibly going to that, fort until, like, way too late, it felt like. I was doing circles around the pipes for, like, a full 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I did too, because I never would have guessed that I honestly would never have guessed that. That was some... I know Plando's not a thing yet, but that would have seemed like a dirty Plando type move.
Yeah, it feels like someone was trying to mess with us there.
Yeah, I think the seed was messing with us. Kind of like the seed sticking that nipper right in front of the pipe on the first release in 5.4. That was just like... My mic was muted, but you could probably tell whose name I was yelling at that point.
If that was like level 1, and that was and there were only like mushrooms in the level, that would have been an impossible seed.
Yeah, that definitely could have been pretty bad.
Alright, well, thank you for the games, Leslie. Thank you for the commentary, guys. I'm gonna head out. Really appreciate it again.
Alright. I have to also say, just as a quick note, first match of the bracket stage, and my prediction has already died.
Sorry.
Straight up.
It's the same with March Madness, right? Everyone's brackets are ruined in like the first week.
Yep.
Yep, and speaking of, isn't Selection Sunday this Sunday, I think?
Think so.
Oh boy, so... While some brackets have gone bust here, if you really want to see brackets go bust with a lot of salt, there's always March Madness. Because that's what happens to me every year.
I just realized I forgot to fill in the bracket for this tournament. Dang it!
Darn it, Wolfman.
Hey, I forgot too, so no worries.
Either way, Jabem, good luck with Classic Gamer next week, and Leslie, hopefully next tournament.
Yep.
Yeah,
Thank
for
you very
sure.
much.
What's probably going to happen is I'm probably just going to I know I can't jump right back in the saddle tomorrow because I'm working late, but what I'm going to be doing in between tournaments is I'm going to keep pounding and keep working because I really feel like my game was starting to come on and get better as the tournament went on. It's just that, unfortunately, I hit some walls that got me, and I think at the end it was me being the worst enemy, not anybody else.
I feel like I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, I'm kind of, like, or at least in the sense that I definitely need to stick to it, because after the one-shot tournament, I kind of hopped on it for a while, and then, honestly, after the group stage, I did a lot better than I was expecting already. So who knows, maybe by next year I might actually be half decent.
Absolutely, you never know. That's why we play the games after all.
Yeah.
Yep.
And yes, I really do hope somebody clipped that Nipper, because that's just the case of where I'm wondering if I should just justify that level should just be vanilla enemies, just to get it out of our hair so we can figure it out. Because that could be ugly.
I hope someone clips my door 3.
That was nice.
Okay.
We did call that out when we saw it.
Okay, door 3, I gotta tip my hat to that, because that's pretty tough to do.
I've been practicing 1-frame jumps because of 3-mix, but I figured I'd go ahead and give it a shot since I was like 50-50 in practice.
So 3-mix says 1-frame jumps. Yikes, that's scary.
Only in one level, and it just saves time. It's not necessary.
Might have to check that out at some point.
Alright,
All right.
with that in mind, I know both of you have to run, so please give it up for Leslie Pro 4 and Jabem. Give them a follow if you haven't already.
Woo!
Woo!
And don't forget about my commentary partner, Demon Battler.
Of course.
And of course, we can't forget about our Grandmaster Wolfman here.
I am not the Grand Master here.
Although I was called the first seed, I hit the Navy, and I'm like, sing it, Wolfman!
I did sing on the first one. The second one,
I don't think we saw it on the second one.
We did.
Oh, we
On my
did?
side.
Have you learned the awesome second verse that I've posted?
Not yet.
Oh, you need to learn that part.
A second verse?
There are multiple ways of doing the rhyming of in the Navy. I just have my traditional verse here. Anyway, let's at least make sure that we cover what's on the rest of the speed gaming schedule before we run over too much here.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll head out, guys. Thank you again. Bye.
Alright, so if you head over to Speed Gaming, it is Magic the Gathering Wednesdays. And if you want to go to Speed Gaming 2... Oh, wait, we are Speed Gaming 2. There's nothing else on the schedule right now.
Well, apparently, I don't know if it got changed or not. Looks like there should be a race between Mitch Flower Power and Jay Coper going on right now.
That's Speed Gaming 4. If you want to head to Speed Gaming 3, though, you will find the Donkey Kong Country 3 Any Percent tournament between Domei and Lumophile.
Ooh, I forgot about that one. That actually reminds me, I need to get my matches in on there.
And if you head on over to Speed Gaming 5, we have the Final Fantasy I Randomizer Highlander Challenge between X Ice Blue and Ik Bin Mia, I believe. Please make sure to follow twitch.tv/speedgaming along with Speed Gaming 2 through 6 and our foreign language restreams available in Spanish, French, German, and Portuguese. But for now, I think it's time we wrap things up because it sounds like we have a number of races to watch here, Demon.
Yes, we do.
So, for everyone here, this is Wolfman2000 saying until next time, watch out for Boss Bass. Have a good night.
Peace.
Have a good night, guys.